why not? I got a buster move, dropping buster groove, feeling fine. Got an evil crew, gold member to lick my nine. Till then I'll on my brands up, put on call and splooge in your that's all. For shizzle my nizzle, y'all.
Cheeseburgers.
This is a shout out to Hoover, God MC. Y'all know him, that's Jay-Z. I met him. Stick that in your blunt and smoke it.
FromSoftware has blessed us with a new game. Remember to pray to your altar of Miyazaki in thanks for this wonderful occasion. What's that? Miyazaki didn't direct this one? Oh. So that's why it sucks ass.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
As we all know, any game that Miyazaki didn't direct is just absolutely awful, and there is no need for explanation, such as the case with Dark Souls 2. No need to come to your own conclusions and try the game for yourself or listen to some unbiased reviews, just remember that it sucks ass and definitely isn't one of my favorite Dark Souls games. Oh wait, you actually clicked on this video to see a real honest review about it? Well, too bad, fucko! I ain't getting paid for this, so I can do whatever the hell I want.
Shit!
I'ma play the game how it goes.
My intention is to entertain, and so entertain I will. Trying to click away, I see. Nope, I have now cast a spell on you to remain here until the video is over. I have also hacked into your mouse, and therefore your brain, and you can't help but feel yourself move over and subscribe, and hit the bell button. Some of you weaker minds can now also feel yourself liking the video, commenting, and sharing with everyone in your contacts, including your grandma.
You are now mine.
If the other Souls games can be called out for causing Stockholm Syndrome, Nightreign can be blamed for depression because the final and first boss of this game is finding friends to play with. I managed to find 2 other mentally challenged pals who willingly agreed to play this game, and I still wanted to throw my controller out the window. Nightreign is the bastardized sequel to the original Elden Ring Testing Your Patience edition. The goal is to kill as many things as possible and prepare for the night when one big boss spawns and tries to give you a new reason to lobotomize yourself. When you've done that enough times, eventually you'll make enough space in that smooth head of yours to memorize their attack patterns and take on the Night Lord. These fights are the hardest in the game and the only way to progress in the game. According to PlayStation achievements, that means the majority of players haven't gotten far. Not that there's much to see, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. If you haven't heard of FromSoftware's games at this point, I would seriously wonder if you even play video games. I would place John Dark Souls up there with Mario for how iconic he has become. The first thing you will get when you open the game is this gorgeous music that just prepares you for the epic adventures you are about to have. Normally these games are very tame when it comes to music unless it's a boss fight, so this is a big change, and for that reason, I'm gonna have to dock some points from my final score. All the swords, spells, and other sounds are just so crisp. I mean, when you parry with the sword, it gives you that nice clear and the bow makes that unforgettable. They even went so far as to make all new music for the boss fights that also sound great, with my favorite mention coming from this fucking dickhead. For a game about reusing assets, they didn't reuse any music, which makes me happy. I can't say the same for everything else though. Aside from some locations, you will feel like you are in limbo for how much you will see the exact same building over and over again.
But Mr. Mandude, that's the nature of a roguelite.
This is my video! While most roguelites have repeating rooms and stuff, they usually have a lot of them, so you don't actually notice until you've played the game for a while. But in Nightreign, you'll have memorized every location's layout within a couple hours. It doesn't help that the overall map layout stays the same the whole time either. Everjails, mines, and the main castle in the middle don't change or move hardly. The locations that do change slightly are all repeated buildings that become so monotonous, you'll be able to run through them with your eyes closed. The saving grace, however, is these random locations that bring some kind of unique event with them for you to explore and conquer. Much like taxes, once you get to the end, you feel amazing and might even get something nice at the end. But more than likely you'll die before then. Gameplay. The way you play Nightreign is by finding 2 friends who are willing to commit to the testicular contortion simulator, jumping into a solo game and dying to the first boss, or joining in with some random players to die to the first boss. Each match is a race against time as you desperately collect as many runes as possible to level up your chosen character before the final fight. This means avoiding every enemy except for the bosses and mini-bosses. Of the different character classes you can play, you have the standard knight with a grapple hook, the sniper, the magic sniper, Ooga Booga, we have Sekiro at home, and the... Each character has their own set of abilities and stats. While you can use any weapon or spell with each of them, they may not be as effective. This creates some interesting builds, as you may not be lucky enough to get what you want with said class, but you might find something that works just as well. For many hardcore RPG players, they will see this as a missed opportunity. But then I ask, would it be as funny to run around as a fragile little girl with just knives, or the God Slayers? The new characters are the highlight of this game, as you will be able to play in ways that you have never had before. My personal favorite is to use the grapple and explosive butt plug combo. Aside from that, you kill, steal, and run from anything that you're not high enough level to face. As I've said, this is a game where you will likely see almost everything in the first 10 to 15 hours after beating the first boss. Beyond that, this Souls game has the record for longest run back to any boss across the games, because getting back to a Night Lord will sometimes take over an hour. The difficulty is shakier than grandma having a stroke during a sermon about demons in video games. I say be gone, foul spirit! Since launch, the game has been changed so often that I don't know what to say about it anymore. However, if me and my friends who spend hours talking about which furry is more fuckable...
She's a Loft follower and possibly a furry? I don't think there's any possibly on this one.
Then just about anyone can beat this game given enough time and practice. The original Souls game bosses returning is probably what most people who played those games got excited about. Unfortunately, their chance of spawning is random like everything else, so you may not see them very often. Besides their upscaled models, the bosses across the board didn't really get any new moves. This means that those original bosses are actually really easy to take on unless it's the Nameless King. And the fact that he is still one of the harder bosses despite the new speed and abilities that we have, just shows how crazy the son of a bitch is. My holdback is the fact that since everything is up to chance, that means that you could potentially feel like you're doing the exact same thing over and over again. The same map, the same weapons, the same path, everything. That is the nature of a roguelite, but I would love to see the city, mountain, or HIV forest spawn in a little bit more often. Is it enough to make me want to replay this game year after year? No. But that doesn't mean that it's a bad game per se. Just a bad FromSoft Souls game. For $40, this is on the higher end of roguelites and feels like it delivers a little less. From the perspective of a classic Souls game, RPGs where you can replay the game with over a dozen different builds, hundreds of weapons, and dozens of abilities to mix and match, all while you play through a cohesive adventure through a mystical, decaying land that is rich with story and atmosphere that keeps throwing surprises at you every time that you think you've seen it all. Yeah, this one sucks ass. Conclusions? This game will strip you of your humanity and defile your corpse like shit eater over here again and again without hesitation. Finding friends to play with is the only way to easily beat the bosses, relatively speaking, and yet is also so much harder than beating Dark Souls without getting hit. But you know what? I'll keep coming back day after day in the vain hope that this time will be different. Because even though these games are like that psycho girlfriend who beats you relentlessly but you can't break up with because they are too hot, once you beat them back, the games I mean, they become one of the best experiences of your life. 8 out of 10, the game is too hard, but god damn it if it didn't tickle my nuts just a little bit to fight some new quality bosses out here. Thank you all so much for watching. Go subscribe and hit that bell notification for more. I'm going to be covering some more fun stuff throughout the year, so stay tuned. Have a beautiful day, and be sure to throw some weight at the gym before you throw your controller out the window. I'll see you next time.